Securing a high-paying Tier 3 job at BPCL is incredibly tough. But the game completely changes when you know exactly how the recruitment works from the inside. Today we are joined by Sharfun, who recently cracked the recruitment drive to secure an offer at Bharat Petroleum. On top of that, she also served as an official placement coordinator on campus, giving her a true insider view of the whole grind. She'll be explaining her unique insights on navigating the intense combined technical and HR personal interview rounds. Let's get right into the conversation.
Shubham, what were the requirements, the minimum requirements to be set for the company BPC?
So
Legally?
academic requirements were like it was different for different categories like general EWS OBC category. For that it was 7 and above. And coming
Mhm.
to SC, ST and PWD categories, it was above 6 CGPA, obviously with no active backlogs. And along with academic requirements, there were medical requirements as well, like candidate should not have any color blindness and no squint eyes.
Mhm.
And there are different requirements which you can find it in BPCL website as well. Yeah.
So, what were the next recruitment process? How was the flow?
Okay, so coming to process structure, it was resume shortlisting in the beginning, and then document
Mhm.
verification, then followed by interviews.
So, there was no online test, there was no group discussion, and it was directly resume shortlisting and interviews.
It was directly
Okay.
resume. Yeah.
All right. So, how many students were qualified for the first round, resume shortlisting? They were following the criteria exactly, or they were having some specification in that too?
So basically, resume shortlisting mostly will happen based on CG and the category.
Hmm.
Actually, I'll tell you an example. Like we have 7+ CGPA, right, for general category. But
Hmm.
in reality, like they shortlisted only students with 7.8 plus CGPA. I'm talking about general category. So it is very
Hmm.
important to maintain decent CGPA.
So next, how was the personal interview? How many panel members were there, and how was the exact environment over there?
So once we got our results for resume shortlisting, then we went for the document verification. They asked us to bring certain documents that you will get to know from the placement team, and then
Hmm.
they were asked us to fill out the forms like Part A, Part B forms, and also there was one more form which was Part C, which was given right after our after getting shortlisted for personal interview
Hmm.
one. So in the Part A, Part B form, they included information about us, like our family background and also the internships that we have done in our
Hmm.
past. So all that information, hobbies and what were our interests, and there were some like behavioral questions were also there in that.
So all this information you were supposed to fill in a form and give to them.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
So when we
And then,
entered the interview room, they already have all the information about us with them. I was the
hmm.
11th person to give interview. So I know that they were more interested in the people who have done industrial training. So I was very
Hmm.
confident that I have done 2 industrial training in HPCL and MRPL. So I was very confident before I entered the interview room. And then it started with my introduction, and then they asked me about the family background. Then what happened? Then they have seen where I have done my internships. Then they
Hmm.
asked me, tell me what are the units you have seen in MRPL. So I told them whatever the units that I have seen, and I started naming them FCCU, VDU, CDU, and I named CCRU unit. They were started asking me questions on that particular unit. They started asking me that, like how a catalyst get deactivated, how do we regenerate it, and all of that questions they were asking me. And then during that explanation, I used a word octane number. So they stopped me again. They started asking me, tell me about octane number and tell me about the performance number. And like there were like following up questions, whichever word I am using, like new word, if I'm bringing in the conversation, they're stopping me. They were asking me questions on that. And then they asked me, tell me what are the petrols that BPCL sell. I started telling whatever the types of petrols that are there. Along with that, I added some specifications as well. Like I just wanted to show them that okay, I have done research, because it's the only time I get to prove myself, right? So whatever information I know, I'm keeping it crisp and I'm adding the important points to that answer. Yeah, and that was the questions based on my internships. And then there were 3 panelists. So first one panelist has asked me, and then other panelists started asking me, what is your favorite subject? Then I told them that I'm good with petroleum engineering. So then they were like, no, you tell me what are your favorite core subjects, the chemical core subjects. Then I started saying, sir, I'm good with heat transfer, mass transfer. Then they asked me the basic questions like, tell me about heat transfer, mass transfer. They asked me what are the driving forces of these two, heat transfers and mass transfer. And then there were questions like, then that panelist asked me, okay, tell me about furnaces. Again, it went to the internship part questions. So he asked me, okay, tell me about furnaces. Then I told what are the types of furnaces. Then I told him that, sir, I'm not really good with furnaces part. I don't have depth knowledge on it, but I know basic principles and basic definitions and also types of furnaces that are there. Then I told him, then he told, okay, tell me what are the heat transfers that will occur in furnaces and all. Then I told the types of heat transfer that will take place in furnaces. So that was a question, and it ended at that. And then comes one more question. Tell me about BPCL. What do you know about BPCL? Then I was actually prepared my answer before itself, because I always have connections with my seniors who is working in HPCL, BPCL, CPCL. So it was happening back in 20 September, right? So by then my seniors induction process got over. So they told me whatever they know about BPCL. Then I told them that this is about BPCL. They were happy listening to me like that. Then there was a lady panelist. She questioned me, like, you are a girl, after few years you will get married and then you will leave the company. This is what every time it is happening. Then I bought a scenario, like I was a placement representative that time. So I told them how passionate I am towards working, how I genuinely love to work. I told them that even after I get placed, I get a lot of time, I can enjoy, but without choosing that, I have chosen some way to serve to my institute. So I told them that how I genuinely interested in working. I told them I always connected whatever the questions they asked me, like behavioral questions, I connected with my personal life examples. Yeah, then they were happy with that. And at last they asked me, like, tell me, if you get a chance to choose refinery or marketing role, then what will you choose? Then I told them I wanted to go into refinery because I like doing chemical engineering stuff.
Next, what were the resources that you used to prepare for the company?
So resources, I got so much help by my seniors. They already prepared their resources. I just followed them. Like for major subjects like mass transfer, heat transfer, petroleum engineering, fluid mechanics, all of that I kept very well prepared. My basics were very clear. And one more resource that I've used is ChatGPT. So whatever word, I don't know, whatever stupid doubt I had, I just used to put that in ChatGPT and get to understand it very well. Like each and every term of my internship and also anything that is there in my course, I used to understand it very well. I used to get all the concepts by heart very clear so that I'll be more confident. So that ChatGPT was one of the resources that I used. And also I used to follow some LinkedIn pages where there were information related to refineries. And also when I went for the internships, then there were materials. I used to take each material and see, let's say I have taken a CDU unit. That CDU unit, I used to note it down. From the start to end, I used to study very well, like which includes temperature, pressure conditions, everything I used to prepare very well. So maybe that made me very confident.
Because usually what happens, anyone who goes to internship, they just go to view the multiple units, but they usually ignore this material that are given to
Hmm.
the given for study. So
Hmm.
like you followed those materials as well to know how exactly it works.
Actually, I was more interested. Maybe that
Mm.
interest driven me to learn more in depth. Like I've done my summer internship right after my second year in HPCL. So I went
Mm.
there when I saw all those units, all those processing units. It was quite interesting for me. That time we didn't had core subjects like distillation and all, which is very basic
Mm.
in refinery. Once I came to third year, then I understood very clearly. Then I was able to connect both of these things, like whatever I studied in my second year and then this distillation process. But when I went to MRPL, then I started utilizing these materials.
Mm.
And when I went to operational unit, there was an officer. He told me that if you are seeing a unit, even a secondary worker can tell that something is going in, something is coming out. So feed is going
Mm.
in, something is happening in the process unit, something is coming out. But as a chemical engineer, what you can interpret more than that? So that
Mm.
that question, what he asked me, has created something in my mind, and I started learning more about that whatever unit I'm studying, and also it helped me to think something more in depth.
So was there any HR interview followed by
Yes,
technical?
so yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Once we got shortlisted from first interview, then we were so once we are done with personality woman, we got results. Then we were selected for HR interview. Then there were two very big officials were sitting in front of us. So
Mm.
it was very informal interview. They were just wanted to know about us, not like they didn't even ask about our introduction. They just went
Mm.
with the questions. Like they asked us to keep it very crisp, and they told me they asked me first question is what was the biggest achievement of me in the college. So I was a
Mm.
part of Coco contingent, so I included that leadership qualities, and they started asking me questions on it, like if someone is coming late, then how will you punish them, how long will you make
Mm.
them run.
Mm.
So these were some unexpected questions were coming. So I suggest if someone is giving an interview, please don't lie to them, because they can find it out in very simple.
Okay, fine. Sharfun, like you were also a placement coordinator in your college time. Mm. So, like, what were the challenges that you faced throughout the journey, and what were the achievements that you have achieved over there, being at that position?
Being a placement coordinator, it was quite difficult, and it was initially getting into this position itself was very difficult. You also know that how difficult the induction process is. Yeah, it completely drained me mentally, but it has made me very strong. Like now I don't even bother what people talk about me. I've After coming to this position, I understood you do your work. You
Mm.
don't have to bother what others are talking about you. Yeah. So you just have to do your work. Whatever efforts you can put, you have to put your 100% efforts. That thing. And also I got a lot of connections. Working
Mm.
was really good part about this position. And also when I came to this position, I understood what actually the corporate like HRs or panelists are expecting from a candidate who is sitting in front of them. So I
Mm.
understood that points became very easy for me when it comes to my interview. And the best part is when I was also part of my interview, then I actually had lunch with my panelists. So I
Okay.
had
Mm.
lunch with them and then came back to the interview room, and they were so chill. They were talking to me very nicely. But then when I entered the room and everything was very professional, so they were
Mm.
again back into that interviewer mode, and then they were taking interview of me. Though they know me and I know them because we had already spoken a few minutes back of my interview. Yeah, so that was best part.
That wraps up the today's data. Hi, I'm Adarsh and on channel Pagal Dada. My mission is to bring you the rated, unfiltered interview experience from the multiple campuses and the multiple companies in the India. If you found the content valuable, do hit that like button. Comment down your views and questions in the comment box. And do check out the playlist that we have created just for you, which is consisting of multiple companies across multiple campuses. Subscribe to the channel and see you soon in the next video.